shows the Weekend Doug Update studio with Norm Macdonald, Charlie Rocket, and Buck Henry all sitting behind the news desk. Pardo. It's Weekend Doug Update with Norm Macdonald, Charlie Rocket, and Buck Henry. Macdonald. President Biden forgave $10,000 of student loan debt for Americans this week. Not everyone's happy, though, as those whose mommy and daddies paid for their college are upset that people who aren't rich caught a break. Rocket. The Justice Department on Thursday submitted a proposal under seal for redacting the Mar-a-Lago search warrant affidavit, as they don't want it becoming public that they are full of shit. Henry. Penny Starr, reporter for Breitbart News, passed away last weekend after a battle with cancer. Mainstream media denies the allegation, citing misinformation. And we are going to go live, despite being dead, with Penny, who is reporting from the Franklin D. Roosevelt National Historic Site. What do you have for us, Penny? Cuts to Penny Starr, who says, "Thank you, Buck. I'm here outside of the FDR National Historic Site, where I've been trying to get former President Roosevelt to come out and go on record about all the government overreach that occurred during the New Deal, but he refuses to talk with me." Henry. Didn't you tell him you were with Breitbart? Starr. I did, Buck, but he said the furthest to the right he's willing to talk to is Fox News. So I'm just going to wait out here and hope that I have more luck with Eleanor. Henry. Okay, great, Penny. Keep us posted. Penny Starr, everybody. Applause, applause, applause. Macdonald. Project Veritas has been swept up in an ongoing federal investigation into the alleged theft of a diary belonging to President Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, during the 2020 presidential election. The right-wing guerrilla news organization alleged on Thursday the DOJ had been secretly surveilling its communications despite a court order from December demanding a third party to sort through devices and documents obtained by investigators. Shows John Belushi dressed as a gorilla next to Macdonald. Macdonald. Well, hello, sir. Who might you be? Belushi. The name's Harambe. Macdonald. Harambe? So you're the gorilla that got shot at the zoo, is that right? Belushi. That's right, Norm. I was trying to help a small child that had fallen into my enclosure, and I was killed for it. No good deed goes unpunished. Macdonald. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Harambe. May I ask why you're here? Belushi. Well, you just called Project Veritas a guerrilla news organization, correct? Macdonald. I don't know, I may have. I just read what they put on the cue cards. Belushi. Well, I'm here to say that us guerrillas do not appreciate the use of our name to indicate negative connotations about any news organization. First, it reduces our species to being something that is underground and not mainstream. Second, it implies that guerrillas share the views of said organization. Guerrillas have a very diverse set of political beliefs, Norm, and not all of us would wish to be associated with Project Veritas. So I ask that you refrain from calling Project Veritas a guerrilla news organization. Macdonald. I'll be sure to let whoever writes my lines know your thoughts, sir. Harambe the gorilla, everybody. Applause, applause, applause. Rocket. The NFL season is set to start soon, and Tom Brady is back from a short retirement and will be participating in his 23rd NFL season. With more on Tom Brady is Don Rickles. Don? Shows Don Rickles sitting next to Rocket, who says, Thanks, Chuck. When Tom Brady started his NFL career, Bill Clinton was still president. And a cheerleader movie, Bring It On, was the #1 movie in America. My understanding is Clinton waited until he was out of office to meet the actresses in the movie so as to avoid Ken Starr. The number one song in the country at the time was Music by Madonna. Her son Jesus hated it. The price of gas was $1.50 a gallon. I thought we went to Iraq to help the oil companies. Holy shit. Anyway, Charlie, I heard Tom is going to be roasted later this year. It's gutsy for Tom to agree to be roasted. It really takes statistical fortitude, which surprises me since I thought Tom's balls were deflated. And dead from the earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Christina Grimmie, and your host, Joe E. Tata. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe E. Tata. Applause, applause, applause. Shows the inside of a diner named Peach Pits, with Luke Perry sitting on a stool in front of the bar, and Joe E. Tata behind the bar. Tata. What can I get you, Dylan? Perry. I can use some advice, Nat. Tata. Well, what's the problem? Perry. I don't know if I should be with Brenda or with Kelly. Norm MacDonald walks in and sits down. Tata. Brandon, how's it going? Why the long face? MacDonald. Well, Nat, I'm confused. I don't know if I should be with Kelly or with Andrea. Gilda Radner as Brenda comes in and sits down. Tata. Well, hey, Brenda, how are you doing? Radner. I'm confused, Nat. I don't know if I should be with Dylan here or otherwise be with David. Brittany Murphy as Kelly walks in and sits down. Tata. Wow, did you all plan this or something? How are you doing, Kelly? Murphy. Nat, I don't know if I should be with Dylan or otherwise with Brandon. Chris Farley as Steve walks in and sits down. Tata. Well, hey, Steve, how are you doing? Farley. Nat, I don't know if I should be with Donna or Andrea. Jan Hooks as Andrea walks in and sits down. Tata. Geez, hey, Andrea, what's wrong? Not enough homework? Hooks. Nat, I don't know if I should be with Brandon or with Steve. Phil Hartman walks in as David and sits down. Tata. Let me guess, you don't know who you should be with. Hartman. That's right, Nat. I don't know if I should be with Donna or with Brenda. Denitra Vance walks in as Donna and sits down. Tata. Well, hey there, Donna. You look a little different than usual. Vance. It's because I'm upset, Nat. I don't know if I should be with David or with Steve. Tata. Okay, kids, I got it all figured out. Tata walks to in front of the bar and says, Dylan, you go with Brenda. Perry takes Radner by the hand and they begin to kiss. Tata. Brandon, you go with Kelly. MacDonald takes Murphy by the hand and they begin to kiss. Tata. Steve, you go with Andrea. Farley takes Hooks by the hand and they begin to kiss. Tata. And finally, David, you go with Donna. Hartman takes Vance by the hand and they kiss. Perry breaks his kiss from Radner and says, Thanks, Nat. I'm so thankful I have a restaurant owner in my life who is so keen on knowing which high schoolers should be banging other high schoolers. Tata. What can I say? Someone's got to do it. Folks, I love being a part of the 90210 cast. and I'm happy to be here. We have a great show tonight. Christina Grimmie is here, a beautiful YouTube star who was tragically shot to death. So stick around and hear her cover your favorite songs with love. We'll be right back.